Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's second video. We're doing JMA Friday for today's second video. So, as always on a Friday, we're having a detailed look at the weather for the month there with the Japanese and Pacific FS models. And I shall get on with that for you in a moment. Just say that first, video release sales are 6 UK weather forecast. It's a 10 to 14 day with all operator features coming up later on this afternoon as well. So, please like, share and subscribe on all updates and content. And thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. It could be live at 10:30, by the way, the pub run. So I shall see you for a little bit of fun later on, maybe. Okay, going to start off with the week 1 500 millibar height line from the Arctic and the North Pole view down. This is the North Pole just here. Got the wider Arctic Circle around there, and then got mid-latitudes through here. So blue is extrapolating to below average heights, which is low pressure. Yellow, orange and red to above average heights, which is high pressure. It's broken down into week periods. The first week period takes from 16th to 23rd of February. Over next week, looking at very westerly, below average heights, low pressure is in the North Atlantic, got above average heights, high pressure from Azores in Spain, and we bring in the wind from a westerly direction. So looking flat as a pancake in the week ahead. Topical, of course, given we just had Pancake Day. Looking as flat as a pancake in the week ahead, and also very unsettled too. Week 2 is going to be the 23rd of February to the 1st of March. So this week could bring a colder snap, cooler snap. Below average heights to our east, above average heights just pulling away from us originally north in the Atlantic. That could send the wind into a cooler or a colder northwesterly or northerly direction. And then also change weeks 3 and 4. This looks a little bit like spring, I have to say. It's the 1st to the 15th of March with above average heights then setting up over and to the east of the country. Now, could that finally break us out of the unsettled weather? It should certainly start bringing up the wind from more of a southerly direction, so it would be relatively mild or warm. But the main issue with that is that we might finally be starting to break out of the deluge out of the unsettled weather and go into a drier pattern. Let's have a look at the tropical and mid-latitude view. So we can't see the Arctic, Greenland, Scandinavia, or as there's a chart up here, UK and Ireland in the top right-hand corner of the chart as you're looking at it. Reminder of the week 1 500 millibar heights and on from the 16th to 23rd of February with below average heights coming in from off the Atlantic, above average heights to the southwest, and as I say, we're looking very flat and westerly and Atlantic driven then. It's a very mild week, but we've got to come with significantly above average temperatures in those orange shadings there, 3 to 4 degrees above normal. And it's also a wetter than average week to come as well, with above average rainfall. And then go through the week 2, which will be the 23rd of February to the 1st of March, and we get below average heights then away to our east with above average heights in the Atlantic, and it might start to bring the wind in from a northwesterly or a northerly direction. The temperature anomaly is average to slightly above, 1 to 2 degrees above average in the south, closer to normal in the north. So even that week, which is a little bit more northerly based, isn't particularly cool or even cold, and it's another relatively wet week to come as well, with again above average precipitation. And then weeks 3 and 4 builds up a ridge to our east, which should start to bring the wind up from more of a southerly direction. Temperature anomalies are above average for weeks 3 and 4, the 1st to the 15th of March. It's a milder than average first couple of weeks of the month. And precipitation-wise, so it's close to average, but might still be a little bit above average just to our south and southwest, actually. But let's say it is a slightly drier couple of weeks anyway. Right, okay, let's have a look at how CFSB2 compares by comparison. So, this is how the week 1 500 millibar height anomaly is looking from the 16th to 22nd of February with below average heights in the Atlantic, in the North Atlantic above average heights to our southwest, and all looking very flat and westerly. So good agreement between the two models for our first week. Week 2 Good agreement again. This is the 23rd to 29th of February. High pressure band pulls out away from us into the Atlantic. British North is a little bit tropical low pressure extending through the western Europe. Now that's turning very unsettled and potentially a little bit cooler as well, although not particularly cold, as there's no sort of blocking to push the cold air out, but certainly a bit cooler, very unsettled with that. And then week 3 will be the 1st to the 7th of March. Low pressure up towards Greenland, Iceland. High pressure is out in the Atlantic, and so we probably bring the wind in from a northwest southeast trajectory. There is a ridge over here that will be trying to bring southerly winds, but that will be more for northern and eastern parts of Europe, I think. So probably just relatively unsettled, a bit on the cool side of average temperatures. And then week 4 looks cars, and this is a big disagreement between the JMA and the CFS eventually. So by the 8th to the 14th of March, where we've got blocking in the North Atlantic and a trough to our east, certainly not much sign of a southerly flow. If anything, that could be rather cold, and maybe a little bit on the wintry side as well. Bear in mind it is March, so it won't be as cold as it would have been in January, but nevertheless could still be rather cold there. So a big disagreement by the time you get through to weeks 3 and 4 between these two models. Temperature wise for CFS week 1, 16th, 22nd of February, exceptionally mild week to come yet again. Week 2 is the 23rd to the 29th of February, so still a little bit above average, but coming down slightly in that particular week. Week 3 is going to be the 1st to the 7th of March, again just a little bit above average, and by week 4 it might actually be a little bit on the colder than average side. It's the 8th to the 14th of March, a little bit below average there. More particularly so over on the continent, but we might tap into some of that. And then finally, precipitation. So week 1 is wetter than normal for the UK and Ireland. Week 2 also looks very wet, 23rd to the 29th of February. That one also coming out with above average precipitation. Closer to average when we get through into week 3, but we might be losing a signal a little bit then. And then we get into week 4, which is going to be the 8th to the 14th of March, and that one also coming out close to average, but again probably losing a signal. It does look rather wet over on the continent. Okay, so we've got good agreement between the two models for the first couple of weeks, and then it all sort of falls apart into weeks 3 and 4. So next week looking unsettled and very mild, and then we go into week 2, which also looks very unsettled and potentially a little bit cooler. So the rest of February, you know, bit of a washout. Into March, that's where we've got the disagreement. CFS looks like it wants to turn things colder and also keep it rather unsettled, whereas the JMA looks like it wants to get spring proper going with a drier and, well, still mild, but with a drier pattern setting up. So by the time we get through to March, lots of uncertainty, but pretty good agreement for the rest of February. Right, remember, just a snapshot of what two models are showing. Could look completely different when we do this again next week. Yeah, so any forecast on side beyond 5-7 days comes with big health warnings and large pinches of salt attached. We're going to be back a little bit later on with your 10 to 14 day, which will include all Rob Reg features. Come back for that later, but for JMA Friday for this week, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.